Okay, let's go ahead and get started. This is Jean Veneman. I am the current Northern Ridge Committee Chair. And I'd like to welcome you all to our Northern Ridge Annual Business Meeting. This time, let me turn it over to Bill Affelt. Bill, if you could help us with the pledge, the Scout Oath and Law.
Yes. If we'll pretend we're standing, Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two. We'll go ahead. It's Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. The Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. So we're here tonight to accomplish a few things, but most importantly to talk about the process for electing our leadership for next year. So I'm going to turn it over to our nominating chair, Brett DeFore.
Thanks, Jean. So as Jean mentioned, this will be a relatively short meeting with the main objective to vote on 2 slates of candidates, committee members at large and committee chair and vice chairman, to make a recommendation for the district commissioner. The proposed slate of candidates are based on recommendations the nominating committee has received from our district charter organizations, their representatives, and current district members at large. The nominating committee is a year-long process. We obviously hit some delays this year, but the members of the committee have been meeting as necessary to get the job done well and to review all the nominations received from you all here. I'd like to thank the members of this year's district nominating committee, Bill Affelt, Scott Meese, Anna McCarthy, and Mark Capel. I thank you all for the time that you spent with me and working through this process. Now, let's go over the role of the committee organization representative and the district members at large and council members at large here. We asked you to participate tonight to take the opportunity of voting for the individuals that will be running our district. The Boy Scouts of America designates that the chartered organizations and the at-large members are the deciding individuals of who will be running our district. It is not decided by the Cub Masters, the Scout Masters, or the committee chairs of the units. All of you here tonight serve a very important role. You vote on the proposed slates and make the decision as to who will be leading our district. We're going to take 2 votes tonight. The first one is the 2021 proposed members at large for the district, and the second for the district chair and vice chairman, and you will also be shown the recommendation for the district commissioner. So let's talk about the process. To provide a fair and orderly nominating process, nominations will not be accepted from the floor tonight. The slate is voted on in its entirety and approved or disapproved as presented. A vote of the majority of the people present is required. If the slate is rejected, then a new slate will be provided for your consideration within 30 days. This year, using the virtual platform, after the slates are shown to everyone, you'll have a few minutes to review the slate. I will request a motion to approve and then a second, and then we'll have a voting module opened online. Here, tonight, during this time in Northern Ridge, every vote will be counted, and we'll stay here and make sure that every vote will be counted. The votes will be tabulated, and then the results will come to me quickly. Once I get the results, I'll relay those to you, and we will move on to the second slate of names. Does anybody have any questions about the process? Okay. So I'd like to give everyone a few minutes to review the members at large list as well. So we'll do that one first. Blake, if you could put the members at large list up on the screen. So for those of you who know, members at large are voting members of the district. They are members of committees, of subcommittees. We have had, it's a relatively same list as last year. We had 2 or 3 names removed just because they moved or they opted and asked to be removed from that list.
So Brett, this is Jean. Just two points I want to make. I wouldn't, is Mark Whelan has dropped out of scouting, and Jeff Barnes has moved to Cobb County. I think we can still vote on those, but I just want to let you know that.
Okay. Okay, so everyone's had a couple minutes. So barring those 2 changes, recommendations, do I have a motion to approve the members at large slate?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
All right, then we're going to open the online voting, and Blake is going to send out an online voting poll for everybody. All right, we've got 20 people on the call. So we had, oh, no. Sorry, the votes are still coming in, so we will wait.
Count all the votes.
So in this process, we're just looking for a majority, and the final count for that was 27 yes and 1 no. So that motion, that slate passes. Moving on to the district chair and vice chair recommendations. Blake, can you put up that slide? So the recommendations this year for district chair is Jean Veneman, and the recommendations for the 3 vice chairs are Laura Lerman, Mark Terry, and Claudette Cunnold. Do I have a motion to approve this slate?
Moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. Blake, can you put on the online polling again? Thank you very much. All right, we still have a couple votes coming in.
When are the absentee ballots due?
Yeah, I'm checking a postmark on this one. Okay.
Hey, and the provisionals, just in case they didn't fill in all the holes.
Yeah. All right, those are all in. So on that slate, we have 26 yes and 2 no's. So that slate passes. Thank you all very much. And then we're going to also see who we're proposing to be the council commissioner, who we are proposing to the council commissioner for the district commissioner for 2021. As I mentioned, this position is not one that is voted on by us. Rather, the nominating committee takes those recommendations and votes on that, and then we present it to the council commissioner, Jenny Chapin, and then they recommend and have their voting process. So this year, we're delighted to recommend for Jenny's consideration Ed Louderroot for that position. So I'd like to congratulate everybody for those positions for 2021. And Jean, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. All right, 2020, what an incredible year this was. And it's ending between our voting here tonight and the voting that's going on in this country. It's just continuing on and on. So it's been a challenge for everyone. But I'd like to walk through a little bit of how our district did in 2020. Let me start by, why is this? Let's start with, here is our district, our main district committee members. Each one of these committees have had additional people that might help them in their process. But here is a little recognition, because it has been an incredible year in 2020, and the accomplishments that this team of people have done to help Northern Ridge be such a great district is very commendable. So lots of these folks have already said they want to come back in 2021. So I'm very excited about it, and congratulations. And for all of the district members here, thank you for all your service that you did this year. Let's talk a little bit around each group. Friends of Funds Development, we had it's a tough year, and so a lot of the goals that were set out at the beginning of the year, not only did Northern Ridge struggle to meet some of those goals, but every district in our council has struggled a little bit, but it's really been phenomenal what we've been able to do. So Friends of Scouting campaign, we ended up with $243,000. That's the second highest of any of the districts in our council. And really, we were on track to really knock it out of the park. We had a lot of Friends of Scouting presentations planned for each one of the units, and everything stopped. So we in turn had to, come up with creative ways of how we could do some fundraising, a lot of phone calls, a lot of outreach to various people in the district to make that happen. And the amazing part about our campaign this year is our community goal met its goal, and this was the first time in 5 years. So our Golden Eagle, we raised $133,000. We have another Golden Eagle coming up in December, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Popcorn really was phenomenal this year. The top seller of popcorn in the council comes from Northern Ridge. We had, out of 171 participating in this, 67 people were able to, of our scouts were able to sell more than $500 in popcorn. 18% of those people managed to, some of the popcorn sales were online, some of it was, the old fashioned way, and 18% of that. So that meant our scouts were out there selling popcorn. Again, camp cards, we've got 13 districts in the council. We were in that top half of the selling camp cards. And of course, COVID does impact our ability to get out there, go door to door. So it was a lot of calling up our friends and families. Moving on to membership. Whoa, that membership, membership got off the ground early in the year, and as they started, the membership team started their planning process. It was like, how in the world are we going to be able to do any kind of recruiting for membership? How do we possibly do it? So that team, headed by Laura Lerman, they really put together their heads, very creative. Laura led that team, and they came up with new ways of handling membership that has never been done before. They totally have had a social media blitz that they did. Facebook postings were constant. We're doing some Facebook ads. We've had a total media blitz, and that has really helped. We're not having as many new members as we've had in years past, but compared to the other districts in our council, we're sitting at number 3, and we're trending. We'll soon be at number 2 with the number of scouts that we've created. The other thing that this membership team did was they came up with the idea, how do we get scouts wanting to join? So they came up with the idea, you join scouting, let's give you a patch right away, instant gratification for joining scouting. And so not only did they create this really cool looking patch, and I wish I had a copy of it on my presentation to show you, but it's got a character with a mask on, etc. Not only do they give the new scout that patch, but they also give the other scout that maybe recruited someone. So it's been a great success. Council has recognized the creativity of our membership, and they're using those ideas, and they're promoting that patch too. Our district had the most sign-up attempts, and really this team, so we're sitting at 106 scouts, and you may say, oh, that's not very much. But when you're looking at what other districts are able to do, some of the other districts are single digits, under 10 new scouts they've been able to recruit. So hands off to the membership committee led by Lauren. All of you have done a really fabulous job, so thank you. Moving on to program. I'm going to break it down. Program consists of a lot of different areas. So let's start talking about a few of them. So advancement, as you know, Mark Capel heads up that committee. A couple of points is out of 13 districts, 1/3 of all Eagle Scouts come from our district. That's a phenomenal number. And it's not an easy walk in the park to get your Eagle project approved. I mean, it has to be a solid project. Part of the way that the advancement team is able to do that is by having Life to Eagle monthly sessions to help everyone prepare for what's involved in an Eagle project. And that's helps them have a quality project going forward. To the point that this year, the Adams Award was granted to someone in Northern Ridge District. And in fact, in the 8 years that Adam Award have been granted, 50% of them have come from our Northern Ridge District. The other thing, we're so in tune to advancement and helping our scouts reach their goals. We have signed up and have twice as many merit badge counselors in Northern Ridge District than any other district around. So kudos to the advancement team. I mentioned it's led by Mark Capel, but If you go out to our district website, you can see that it takes a village to handle advancement, and the names of all the people out there and all their specific jobs. It's just phenomenal what our advancement team is doing. Moving along, activities. Activities were headed up by Mary Gearhart. And that was a struggle this year, no doubt about it. We were able to have a fantastic district banquet. I think most of you were there. Claudette Connell, she ran that for us, did a fantastic job. It was before COVID, so we actually enjoyed it. Jesse Seago helped through the food process. So. And Jean Thorncroft. So thank you all for that. That was fantastic. Then the team got together and they planned out Spring Camporee, registered all the troops in our district. Everything was planned out thanks to Claudette and Jean Thorncroft, and everything was ready to go, and then COVID hit, and that had to be postponed. We tried to reschedule it for the fall, thinking maybe COVID would be under control, but it has not been. So we've now pushed it out for this coming March, and we should be good to go with that. Similarly, Cub Camp, the team headed by Elise and Alan Hutchins, they had Cub Camp totally planned out, ready to go, looking forward to having a really good summer this year with Cub Camp. COVID hit. They worked very closely with Mary Gearhart and Cole to move those activities, or at least some of those activities, to Scout Expo, which was planned in September. And so we were trying not to be impacted too much by that, thinking we would have good Cub recruitment during that period of time. Unfortunately, we had to postpone our Scout Expo also. However, Northern Ridge had great participation. Council came up with a mutual Cub Camp in a box type thing, and we had lots of participation from Northern Ridge through the council program. Council has been very supportive in helping our district and our units have successful scouting programs this year because of COVID. Another program that council came up with was Scouting on Demand, that continues to be out there, available. Some of our Northern Ridge leaders have been very active in working with council on the Scouting on Demand, and we've had strong participations from our scouts from Northern Ridge. In addition, the troops, even though we've not been able to necessarily meet in person, a lot of the meetings were put on hold. The PACs had to stop. Well, most of the PACs don't meet during the summer anyway, but our leaders in our individual units, whether it's a troop or a PAC, they have been working very hard. How do they keep the program going? And we have been working with those units to come up with ways, creative ideas on how to promote scouting and how to get scouts engaged. Many of the troops, most of the troops were having virtual meetings. Some of the PACs, that was really tough for them to have virtual meetings. They were able to do some very safe outdoor activity. As an example, PAC 841 had a rocket day, and the Cub Master there, he tied what do you call it? Anyway, he had stuff around him that nobody could get within 6 feet of him, and so he was very creative. The scouts had a great time. So activities wise, what it tells us is all of our planning was done in 2020, so we should be good to go for 2021. So we're very excited about that. Civic and community service, that's headed up by Tom Reitz. We've had a really good year for a lot of planning and results oriented for community service. Yes, there's been, with COVID, it's limited some of the services that our scouts could do, but we have been hurting for a couple of years with some of the units struggling with how to post their service hours. Tom prepared a training document and had hands-on sessions with units showing them what needed to be done between Tom and Craig. They did a great job. And for the first time we've had, for years, we've struggled with, yes, all of these packs and troops, they do lots of community service, but they don't record them. Record that information, and this year they've done a great job to get the word out on what to do, how to do it, and get things going. So in addition, the community service team has really researched the community in Northern Ridge about what opportunities, and Tom's been publishing and sending out that information. So we have a lot of community service that we can do locally right here within our district. And it's great that that information went out. And we've been working on partnerships with these organizations for continued work that our scouts can provide for service. Training is really tough when you can't do it in person on some of them. So the focus and training is headed up by Bill Affelt. His focus was on YPT. As everyone knows, we got a new YPT course 2 years ago. So everybody had to redo their YPT this year. So we focused on the training committee. They focused on YPT, making sure everyone redid their youth protection training, and also heavy focus on position training. Our goal obviously is 100% on position training. We're keep working on that. We're at 74% right now. We're still in the top tier in the council about training. We have 4 units that have 100% of their leaders trained. Probably the focus we need to work on a little bit is our CUB programs to make sure all those den leaders get trained. Typically den leaders come in, they don't know much about the scouting program and don't realize the importance of some of this training. Our district, all of you are, we've got 95% of our district trained. So, so we've got the ones that are not trained are the district members at large. So if you haven't taken the district training, please take the time to do that. Blue and IOLS are in-person type training, and those had to be postponed this year, primarily because the location of where that training is done, those facilities, they're shut down. So we were not able to conduct those courses. However, the council was able to sponsor some Blue and IOLS sessions of training on their council property, and following the guidelines for COVID. In those courses, 1/3 of the attendance came from Northern Ridge adult leaders. So that tells you how important that our leaders recognize training is. So that was a very successful training year. How does that fit in our journey to excellence? So let's talk about journey to excellence for a minute. National came out with a, I think most of the councils, probably people were saying, hey, with COVID, there's no way we're going to be able to meet our journey to excellent goals this year. And what Atlanta Area Council took a look at, and our leaders in our council said, well, it may be true that some of the items on Journey to Excellent, the normal one that we do every year, may be difficult to meet, but having goals set for the district and the individual units is really important. And to keep scouting alive and you need to set goals for yourself at all times. So they came up with a condensed version for Journey to Excellence. It's from the Atlanta Area Council. And as you can see here, Northern Ridge District, we are definitely trending for gold. There's 2 items on there that the only reason we have enough points for gold, but there's 2 areas that it's too early to tell. One is the recharter that we're confident the commissioners and the recharter team. Paula Louder has been working diligently on getting recharters done. The commissioners have been talking to the units. And so we're very confident that we're going to meet that goal, and hopefully we'll reach goal for rechartering our units. But we don't know that yet because we have till December 31st for that. And the other big item on this list is Golden Eagle Luncheon. Now this year it's not an in-person lunch, right? It is a virtual lunch. But as part of our Journey to Excellence, at least one person from every unit in the district needs to attend the Golden Eagle Luncheon to qualify for bronze. And that impacts us from a district in reaching gold because one of the requirements is that in order to get gold, regardless of how many points you have, in every category you have to have at least bronze. So for all of you out there, if you haven't signed up for the Golden Eagle Luncheon, please do that now. And please, please ask that, you know, every unit that you talk to when you're out there, that they send at least one person to that Golden Eagle Luncheon. And it's key. Fundraising is absolutely key this year because you know, the money that we raise within Northern Ridge doesn't necessarily stay with Northern Ridge. It goes to the council, and the council then provides back to us with whatever we need. It helps, you know, it helps fund, besides our wonderful DEs that we have and the total staff, all the facilities, Woodruff, Burt Adams, Alatoona, and this year was hit hard because council wasn't able to have summer camp and some of the other ways that they make some money to cover their costs. They've not been able to do it. So it's very important that all of us take a look at that Golden Eagle Luncheon and see and promote that heavily among all the units that we talk to. So keep that in mind as you're speaking to other units. So as you can see, we're rounding out the end of the year and we're there. We're ready to get gold, and hopefully with these last 2 points before December 31st, we'll have met that goal. So I'm very proud for all the people in our district and all the hard work that you've done. It's just been fabulous. To summarize real quick, so in 2020, I had set out that theme of unity and to bring us all together, all the leaders in our district. And boy, have we had to come together. COVID presented a unique challenge for all of us to figure out how to deliver this scouting program. It was so important. The creativity that came out with everybody and all of their ideas and the ideas that council had really helped Northern Ridge have a very, very successful 2020 in spite of all the drawbacks that might have occurred through the years. So I couldn't be prouder to be associated with such a great district and all the people that worked so hard. Looking forward into 2021, I'd like to build on what we did in 2020. Definitely thinking outside the box. How do we do things? How do we how do we deliver a program when we are faced with challenges? So the theme that I came up with for 2021 is Build 2021. And it's really just build upon the work that we've done so far this year and what we can do and make 2021 an even better program. Hopefully COVID will get a vaccine and things will start normalizing. But if not, we're going to build upon the creativity that so much has gone on so far, and continue our strong relationship with members of the Atlanta Area Council and everything they did. I've been talking to a lot of our district leaders. Most of them are coming back for another year. I'm very excited to have that experience. We really need their help. And so it's nice to keep that transition. And more importantly, it's unbelievable how many new leaders we've added recently to the Northern Ridge district. So I'm very excited with that. And with that, this is kind of our basis of where our district stands today, what we look forward to. I'd like to pause for a minute and see if anybody has any questions or comments or anything they'd like to talk about.
Yeah, Gene, it's Ed. I just wanted to add on to your training slide that the Commissioner Corps is also 100% trained. All 32 commissioners are YPT and position trained.
Oh, thank you, Ed. That's really great. And, you know, I'd like to recognize Ed and what he's done. So for those that weren't aware, Ed, we lost our original district commissioner, and Ed stepped in earlier in the year, just about the time that COVID came along, right? And John moved out of the area. And so Ed took over, and he's just jumped right in and have really built a strong commissioner team there too.
Gene, this is Bobby. Quick comment regarding the training slide. I may have missed something in the numbers. It looked like we had a total requirement of 1610, 1233 have completed, and the slide indicated only 135 still outstanding. That would give us a total of 1465, which is just shy of 200 off.
Bob, the remaining of those, that 200-ish, they're all due in 2021.
Okay.
So of the 1600 plus, there were 1275-ish that had to redo their YPT this year, and all but 135 have completed so far.
No worries. I just looked at the math and went, am I reading that right? So
It's Bill math.
Oh, well, that's that new math.
Hey, Bill, this is Dwayne.
Yes, Dwayne.
You have something about district members at large needing training.
Correct. There's 20 of them.
Where's the training?
My.scouting.org.
Okay. And how do I find it there?
Okay, you from my.scouting.org, you upper left-hand corner, you pull down to menu, you go into my training, then go into, and there'll be tabs across the middle, and you go into requirements and open it up, and it'll be a list of positions, and I think it'll be under the other one. And I'm just going off the top of my head right now. I'd have to, if anybody has any questions, just give me a buzz. I will walk you through that and help you out best I can.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, it's Randy. Wasn't that usually the training we did on Saturday in December? Or is this new training?
This is the online training. That's the training that, the training you're thinking about was the one that we do on January, the third Saturday. That's never kicked in for whatever reason. The only thing that's kicked in is the online training.
Oh, because my iShow is trained for committee.
Okay, well, maybe it is kicked in at this point. The National Training Center has been having issues all year, and I had given up on that one.
Okay.
Well, the question I have is, it says, you know, at large trained. Is there a training for at large, or is it just committee training? Or a lot of us have unit committee training. Does that count? Or is it something specific as a district committee? You know,
All right, when you get into that other positions and open up district committee, there will be a line that says members at large, and you'll open it up, and there'll be different. There'll be 8 or 9 different positions underneath that, and so I've taken them all. I can work with you as you go through any one of them. Give me a call if you got a problem, please. Give me a call. I can solve a lot of them.
Yeah, Bill, maybe an email to our district members at large. That
Will do.
I didn't even know there was that training. I had all the others. I didn't know there's every time you turn around, they whip another training, but they don't tell you about it. All of a sudden, you know, you find out from Bill, you're delinquent on this or that or whatever.
And it does raise the question, if there are 8 or 9 of them, which one or ones do we do?
All of them, according to Bill.
Of course.
Well, yeah, if you go to training center, you go to position
It's an
specific.
hour a week.
Yeah.
If you go to training center, you go to position specific. There is a district committee tab down there below chaplain commissioners, new member coordinator, COR, then district committee. So there's some stuff in there.
And we would all be in district committee. I'm doing pretty good doing that memory. I didn't pull up my extra screen on that one. Send it out the email. All right, we'll do.
Yep, thank you.
That would be good. Bump us up another 5 points. Again, and since I got this floor here, please reach out to the den leaders and have them go online and take their 90-minute training session at this point. We have 77 den leaders. We were like 5th in the council out of 13. Those 77, if they would take their 90-minute online training, not only would we be in first place on the council, we would get national recognition also. So we have 1,200 people that have taken that test, and we just taken their training. If we get that 77 more, we knock it out of the park.
All right.
Gene, I just want to take a second, thank this year's Commissioner Corps. In a year where a lot of units were stepping back and scouts were stepping out, they pretty much all stepped forward and did the extra work to keep units intact. And I think when Recharter is all said and done, we're going to see that Northern Ridge will lose less units and less scouts and a lot of other units in the council. So great job, guys and ladies.
I agree, Ed. You and your team have done a fabulous job. And I went through one of those detailed reviews that you're having them all do. So I know how good a job you're doing. It's a lot of work. All right, anything else from anyone? All right, thank you all very much. Let's build on. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, for some reason I was struggling to get myself off mute. I just want to say thank you to you for everything you have done for the district. You put yourself out there unexpectedly, headed up this district, brought everyone together, and I think you have done an absolute amazing job. And I think we are totally headed in the right direction. And I just want to applaud you for everything that you have done for the district and for the scouts. I mean, that's really why we're here. So thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Appreciate that. It's definitely been a tough one with COVID for all of us, right? All right, with that said, I'm ready to close it out unless anybody else has any comments. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm always trying to make myself available, and let's build on 2021. We're going to have a great year next year too, and we're going to finish out this year reaching gold status. I'm looking forward to that, and thank you all for all your hard work. Thank you, Brett, for chairing our nominating committee again this year. I appreciate that. And all of your members of your committee. All right, Blake, I turn it back over to you.
I was just about to hit end. Awesome. Thank y'all. It was great seeing y'all. Y'all have a great night.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.